Coming up right now, boop, on the nose, why Dr. Seuss is actually the inspiration behind one of the hottest gift trends this holiday season.
Also coming up on Daily Flash, the bizarre reason a former employee is suing Hooters and why the restaurant chain is pushing back.
A little bit later on, a giant retailer has gone quiet on Christmas, and employees, well, they're not very happy about it.
But we're happy you're here.
Yes.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English. Welcome to Daily Flash, everyone. We've got a great show set up for you. We also have Matt Doolittle, who actually, you're going to be sitting down talking to a Wicked star, right?
Yes, Michelle Yeoh, and I have a big crush on her from back in her Bond days, so you'll be able to see that.
Oh, please don't hit on her. Please don't hit on her.
Well, I had to. I mean, you know, when you get the opportunity, you got to take a shot, right?
Okay, well, all right. I mean,
Did we get a call from HR?
no,
Okay.
no, but after the Kathy Bates thing and him, it was just like a thing we just said,
Look,
let's stop
Kathy
doing
Bates.
it altogether, okay?
Mwah.
I'm looking forward to that interview, Matt.
Yeah, Matt, it's going to be fun, buddy.
All right. Who watches Yellowstone?
Well, I would love to, if I can find it. Well, it's been gone for, what, 2 years now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
a year and a half or so?
I
Okay.
think it's been on hiatus.
But I
for a
have.
year.
I love the show.
Well, if you've been paying attention to any of the headlines, you know exactly how the new season just opened up.
No, I don't. Please don't share
don't.
because I have to wait. Okay. Well, well, I know
happened?
how it ended.
happened?
How about the last season? I know how
happened?
that ended. Is there a big surprises?
Well, I wanted to sort of steer this conversation
Okay.
in the direction of how this new season starts because it was quite
Okay,
a
please
quite a
do.
shocker. Okay. Well, there's no. It's very well known that Kevin Costner and Tyler Sheridan, the creator of the show, had a falling out, and
Right.
Kevin Costner said, "I'm not doing the final season." So they found a certain way to take care of his character in the first episode.
Is that right?
Which everyone is shocked by. They're like, well, couldn't you have at least stretched it out a few more episodes? But in the first episode, nobody was expecting it.
Okay, so when they were promoting it, they would show Costner. Okay, so
Yeah.
we got a little. Is there a bait and switch involved? in
Not
that?
a bait and
Not
switch.
really?
I mean, if anyone's a fan of the show, they knew that Kevin Costner would not be as involved,
Right.
and there was talk that, and this is known. It's not a huge surprise that somehow his character would not survive this season.
All right. Did he have an iPhone? When that's how I know. That's a whole different story.
We
about
gotta
Village
talk
and I.
about
We have got
that.
to talk about
We
that.
do have to talk about that.
Okay, here's my issue with Yellowstone. So I mean, it's a bit. People are going to be shocked.
Shocked.
I'm going to be
Complete-
shocked. when I
I
watch
was
it.
shocked. I was like, oh my! I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to happen in this way and so soon. And that sort of brought me to the point, like when your favorite character or when a lead character leaves a show for whatever reason, does it make that show less watchable?
I think. Well,
Yeah.
if they're the ones that drive it, I think of The Office. I think
Yeah.
those last two seasons are just like I watch them now in repeats, and I'm just like, it's not there. It's not there. I mean, you tune in for a certain character,
Yeah.
and if that character's gone.
Right.
Obviously, the chemical,
chemistry.
the chemistry, and the chemical that makes it bond together
Yeah.
is gone.
Well, it's like
So-
our favorite show, Breaking Bad. If they'd have gotten rid of Jesse right after the first season, like they were talking about, that entire series would have been completely different.
Well, that's a great point.
to keep that in mind. So what my complaint about Yellowstone
Yes.
is that it's on Paramount, right?
Paramount
but,
Plus.
But I don't have that, so I have to, which is a CBS product.
Yes.
But you have to watch it if you have it on Hulu, which is an NBC product. But then I don't know when the times are or
But
whatever.
we actually get Paramount Plus. We do through Amazon.
So,
it's
same
pretty
here.
easy.
Wait, you get
I
Paramount
get
through
Max through that
Amazon?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Paramount.
can get Max. I got Max
Yeah.
through it. Yeah.
But,
That's a thing?
Yes, but
Oh.
there's also Paramount, and then there's Paramount Plus.
Plus.
Like all these ridiculous streaming channels. Now, not only do you have the AMC, but you have AMC
AMC
Plus.
Plus.
And if you want to watch the programs you want to watch, you got to upgrade to the Plus.
Let's do the same thing. Daily Flash.
Daily Flash Plus.
Yeah,
You
go,
get
there
James.
you go.
You get James if you get Daily Flash Plus.
There we go.
The Sweet Baby James channel.
Sexy.
Yes, but you're right. It is difficult to find Paramount Plus and find that show. But
find what it
CBS
is.
was airing them for quite some time on the network
Yeah.
during, when the actor strike was going on because they weren't sure what would happen. But that show's really racy, so there's a lot of stuff that they can't air on the network.
They had the same thing with the actor strike back back in the early 2000s, if you remember that one with Dexter, and that's how I started watching Dexter. And Dexter's nothing but murder. I was like, how are you getting this on CBS? But they edited it well enough that I didn't know. So I was cool with it. Let's jump into some of the trending stories around here. A nose job from a plastic surgeon in Turkey is considered one of the hottest gifts this holiday season. Who knew? She's actually offering what's known as Whoville. The doctor is actually making a name for herself on social media with videos showing off the virtual transformation. She says that her work is actually inspired by Dr. Seuss and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Her video shows off the before and after look of the patients whose nose have been reshaped with an upturned tip. See it?
Okay.
The reaction, a little mixed. Some love it, some hate it. Nose jobs or rhinoplasty has become a hot holiday gift trend during the, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. Yeah, that little tip there, I think of Susie Who, her little nose goes up. This guy has it, you can see that. All right, well, I think that's always, it's cute, you know?
Yeah.
There's some major transformations, though, if you think about it.
I think they look nice. They don't look completely, they don't look exaggerated. I think they look natural. So that's a good thing. But is it weird to gift someone plastic surgery?
I think so. I think it's kind of weird.
You just give him a gift card. You're like, here you go. Here's Dr. Trevisani. There you
It is
go.
what it is. It makes them look better. It's like the BBL for the face.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to a guy that's going to make me look completely different and go, hey, I got a coupon. I'm not doing that. Give me the cash. I don't go.
It does sort of boggle your mind when you're driving down the road and you see a billboard for a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
$1.99. I'm like, who would pay $1.99 for plastic surgery?
Yeah, think about that.
I mean, all right.
If it works,
to each his
okay,
own, right?
yeah.
A transgender woman is suing Hooters for refusing to hire her. Brandy Livingston says she applied 3 times and was rejected without a fair shake. That's according to her. Hooters has responded. They say Livingston was asked to not return to the restaurant for aggressive behavior. The company said Livingston made staff extremely uncomfortable by proposing marriage and then threatened to go to a gun range to practice ahead of her next visit.
Wow.
When asked about the gun range complaint, Livingston said it was likely a misunderstanding. And she misspoke?
So she's saying they're not hiring her because she's a trans woman.
Yes.
And they're saying, no, it's because you're doing all of this weird stuff and you're making us
with
weird.
us and our and our employees, and you make people feel uncomfortable.
I went to a Hooters one time, no lie, and a guy served us. And to this day, I think... Yeah, huh?
One time?
Well, I know I've gone to Hooters many times, but when a guy serves you, I'm like, wait a minute, man.
Did you feel ripped off?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, and they sell that. They sell it. They go, this is what we want you to come here because of our waitresses. Heck, they're all over the billboards.
Hooters wants their wings boneless.
They want their... James said... I'm not even going to repeat what James said. Hopefully your mic was on when they said that.
Have you gone to Twin Peaks?
Actually, I have, yeah.
Okay.
My wife and I actually went out there.
Great scenic views.
Too. You know, I don't know. If she thinks it's that, I think you need to pull back and think about how you're behaving and how you make customers feel. That's what they have to go after. So there you go.
Neiman Marcus has removed the word Christmas from its iconic annual gift catalog. For the first time ever, the retailer is calling the glossy catalog the Holiday Book instead of the Christmas Book. The name change is raising concerns inside the luxury chain's headquarters. It's all unfolding as the CEOs are restructuring the 117-year-old company ahead of a buyout. This is Neiman's last holiday season before it's acquired by rival Saks Fifth Avenue for nearly $3 billion. Why do you got to take Christmas out of the Christmas catalog?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can understand if you want to call it holiday and then you can spread it out. I get that. But here's the thing. You know, if somebody says, hey, comes up to me and says Happy Kwanzaa or Happy Hanukkah, I'm not going to be offended. No. I don't know why we have to take it away, especially if it's been tradition for so long. Yeah. To me, it would be like, oh, they're following tradition. I appreciate that sort of thing. And you'd think that the new regime that's going to come in that would want to honor that, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, 117 years, and you've gone with a catalog that's been your Christmas catalog for however many of those years, and then all of a sudden you decide in your last final hurrah, you're going to just change it to the holiday catalog?
You can't do that.
Boo!
Speaking of Christmas, though, the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center, it has arrived. It marks the 93rd year for the city's holiday tradition. The 74-foot, 11-ton Norway spruce has made its way from West Stockbridge, Massachusetts to downtown Manhattan. Earl and Leslie Albert, who were newlyweds at the time, this is cool, check it out. They planted the tree back in 1967.
Wow.
Well, Leslie passed away just prior to Rockefeller's head gardener arriving to scout out the tree. The family sees it as a great tribute to their mom. Now, the last time Rockefeller Center chose a tree from Massachusetts was way back in 1959. The iconic tree is a mainstay for New Yorkers, past and present. The first tree actually went up in 1931 by Italian-American workers who were building the skyscraper. Neat stuff there, right? Love
so
seeing
cool.
that.
Me too.
All right, we got great stuff still to come right here on Daily Flash. You don't want to miss out on Matt's talking to Michelle Yeoh from Wicked. See what she's going to be doing in the new movie.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of things coming up too. We're going to talk about AI news anchors. Wait until you see the AI news anchors. It's crazy.
Hey now, welcome to Preview Review, and this is my little segment that Matt Doolittle gets to get, where we get a sneak peek and I get to speak geek. And a big trailer just hit today is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Check it out.
Our lives are not defined by any one action. Our lives are the sum of our choices. Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
I am so stoked for this because it got delayed so much because of the writer's strike, the actor's strike, all of that. We were finally getting this on May 25th of 2025. It is finally going to come out. We are going to get to enjoy Ethan Hunt for one last time. Apparently, they're going to move into some other stuff too, but we'll see if they do more Mission Impossibles. But this one was epic, and it left us on a proper cliffhanger. Hopefully he doesn't break his ankle again. Alrighty, and going on to theme park news this week, we got a preview of Donkey Kong Land at Universal Japan, but it's a look into what is coming to the Epic Universe at Universal Orlando. Check it out.
こういうバナナの山ですね。これ1日で食べるんですかね。すごい食欲やね。あ、ドンキーコング。おお、ドンキーコングが来てくれました。元気にしてた？どうですか？このジャングルの住み心地は。おお。気に入ってるみたいです。ドラミングも絶好調ですね。
Yes, Donkey Kong Land is opening at Universal in Japan, but this is a preview of what we're going to get here in Orlando at Universal's Epic Universe that opens on May 22nd, 2025. Fingers crossed, everything works. So here on Preview Review, we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up, so you can check it out on our YouTube page. I'm going to have a Red 1 review. I'm going to have Gladiator 2, and of course, a Wicked review. So I cannot wait for that, guys.
Thank you so much. It's time now for a little segment where we actually pick a little wild story, we share it, and pretty much all say together, Mitch, please. His name's Cole Tashman. He's a Florida surfer, and he's now recovering after surviving his shark bite, okay? There's a little bit more to the story. He was surfing at Bathtub Beach and was bitten by an 8-foot shark. Wow, as wild as that sounds. It's actually a chilling repeat of an incident that actually happened to him 11 years ago. But this recent bite, much more severe than the first. It required 93 stitches, 10 staples, and 3 tendons that had to be reattached. Now, Tashman was pretty fortunate, no doubt, that a local food truck operator used his surfboard leash as a tourniquet, and that actually helped with the controlling of the bleeding, and then they rushed him off to the hospital. Tashman was discharged from the hospital. He's now focusing on his recovery. He has set up a GoFundMe campaign to help cover his medical expenses. Already over $7,000 has been raised. His goal is $30,000, to all of which we say, getting bit by a snake twice? Mitch, please! Here's the thing. Is it the shark's fault, number one? I say, do we actually contribute to this GoFundMe account? Because think about this. Yes. Once bitten, twice shy, right? Yes. Oh, you're on that? Right, okay. I'm gonna jump in here. Please get over here and tell me your thoughts on all of this here.
So I think that what happens is, you know, we expect these wild animals to be tame.
Very true. Very true.
They're a wild creature in their own habitat, and I see us as invading on their space.
100% are. And the Earth is 2/3 water, number one. Now, surfers have a totally different mentality, first off, because I'm going to tell you something right now. First off, you can get me on a surfboard, or if you can get me anywhere near, like, getting into the ocean, and I get bit by a shark, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not going back ever again.
I got you.
But the surfer mentality is, and we've all seen Point Break, right?
Yes, we have.
Right? That you go back in there and you face your demon. This time, I guess, was a snake.
Yeah.
And then bit twice. Like I said, once bitten, twice shy. I would not definitely go back in there. And the thing is, they can't catch the shark. And if they did, you know what they would have done? They would kill it. Just because it bit, it was being a shark.
That's the thing that drives me nuts. The shark is being a shark. You're in his habitat. What is he supposed to do? He sees like something that looks nibbly, and he nibbles.
He nibbles. He does what anybody would actually want to think of to do as well. So
I do wonder how they catch, because sometimes they'll say, we got the shark. How in the world did you get the shark?
How would you, how do you know which one it is?
know?
Now, granted, if it's, got like maybe the sleeve of the arm of the guy that he chewed up, that's one way to do it. If he's wearing the same watch that says braided, understandable. But again, when you think about how many fish are in the sea, how are they going to know the actual one? And in Florida, whenever you're in Florida, you are within a half mile of a shark all the time, no matter what.
Or an alligator.
Or an alligator. Depends on what, if it's saltwater or freshwater, either way. We just have come to know that. We just have come and appreciated it.
From what I've heard, and I don't know if this is fact, but I've heard that sharks don't necessarily like humans. That's not something that they would feed off of. It just happens like if you're in their territory and it's like you're dangling a bright, shiny object in front of them, they're like, oh, what is that? Maybe it's a fish. I'll take a bite out of it. And then they're like, ooh, human, not so good.
Human doesn't taste that good. Much like when we get a bad piece of fish or so. We're probably the same way. Alrighty, in upstate New York, the ultimate safe house has hit the market. Get this, for $2.69 million. Ooh. Some of its amenities: steel reinforced walls, a security gatehouse, concrete floors, a NASA-designed water filtration system, secret escape routes, panic rooms, and even a private helipad. It also features saltwater pool and a spa, a home theater, a gym, a library, a ballroom, and nearly 10,000 square feet of white sandy beach. No sharks. There's 8,200 square feet of living space with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and guess what? Don't worry. Once you get out on the land, you got 10 acres to run around.
10 acres.
And that's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I'm loving that. We've got more Flash coming up right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We love having you along. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Here's some trending stories here we want you to know about. More than 40 monkeys escaped from a research lab in South Carolina, and authorities are actually warning residents to keep their windows and doors closed. Seriously. Authorities say that the monkeys broke out of a facility that specializes in biomedical research when a caretaker, forgot to shut the door. Now, search teams from the lab are working to locate the monkeys. They're running loose within the perimeter of the research facilities. Crews were setting traps, and basically with apples and peanut butter. They also were using thermal imaging to locate the monkeys. A lab spokesperson said the 43 primates were young females, each weighing about 7 pounds. Investigators say that there's no health risk associated with the primates. The monkeys were housed at the lab, had not been used for any type of research. At last count, I think they were at 24 that they have actually caught so far, but there's still some out on the loose, monkeys out on the loose, so be careful.
And from what I understand, this has happened several times before.
And you think, how do they get out? It seems like there should be like 2 doors, you know what I'm saying? Like there's one door and it just goes outside, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody forgot to close the door?
That's what happened. They forgot to shut the door and then they ran out. It seems like there should be like a vestibule or something like that that would stop that. And when I think of research labs, I always see them go through like a decontaminated room and that sort of thing, but that doesn't seem the case.
Here in Central Florida in the Ocala National Forest, they have a lot of wild monkeys that were left over from a couple of movies that they shot up there, and Tarzan is one of them. So
there's an island that they all live on.
And occasionally, if you're up there and you're doing some boat tours, you may see one every once in a while.
There you go.
A new television station is featuring AI-generated news anchors and news content. Take a look.
Hello, and welcome to Channel One, a new way of consuming, reporting, and thinking about the news powered by artificial intelligence. Today, you'll witness AI-generated stories and headlines, captivating visuals, and data-driven insights. From global news to finance to entertainment, we'll show you how technology enables us to bring you a global perspective.
That is an AI news anchor. The Los Angeles-based Channel 1 is hoping to be the first ever nationally syndicated news station in the U.S. to use AI-created anchors and reporters instead of humans. Its content, video, and images will also be generated by AI.
So right now, when you watch a movie, maybe a not so big budget movie that they can afford a CNN anchor, they use like actors. That's what this seems like right now, where it's the cadence isn't right.
Yes.
But that's right now. I mean, within a year from now, they're going to be, doing the things that normal news anchors do.
I find this terrifying.
I do too.
Because even though you can kind of tell a little bit, the voices seem a little odd, the images maybe just a tiny bit glitchy, they could all pass as a news anchor, as a
100%.
human news anchor, and yet this is all AI. Even the content, even the video stuff is generated, AI generated.
And which is a little scary because, okay, they gather that information and you get a synopsis of what all the information they get. I mean, it puts it into one. But, they have admitted, too, that sometimes AI doesn't say the right things as well. But then you go, well, there's people that report news that's not always the right. It's like so weird to see this, but it's not, no doubt in the future. It's not going to go anywhere. It's here to stay.
But I think with having an actual human there is sort of that chance for human error. And I think people kind of like to know that there might be something more to it than just a computer-generated person.
Listen, if I'm pulling up and getting some gasoline and this thing pops on, I'm fine with it. All right, because if you're getting your news from the gas station, God bless you.
Hey, we might be on a gas station.
Yeah, who knows? That's true. Yeah, we're number one at Exxon, but it's not going away.
Yes.
Just know that it's only going to get better, and it's here to stay. We go now to Australia, where a breakdancer known as Ray Gun. She said she's hanging up her sneakers. The 37-year-old performance at the Paris Olympics actually went viral for all the wrong reasons. Her name is Rachel Gunn. She competed in 3 breakdance battles and was just shut out. Rachel revealed she doesn't want to face the criticism that can come with future competitions. Gunn says that she'll continue to breakdance, but in her privacy of her own home. Breakdancing will not be a part of the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Because of this, possibly, it was something for people to watch, though. You have to give it that. There's been all kinds of crazy. There was ice sculpting was a competition one time. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, and they bring them in like this, to test it out. Say, hey, here's something neat that they're doing. But you see, then you watch this, and my understanding, she's more like a performance artist, right? She was just kind of doing it for. I mean, can she really say that she's a breakdancer?
I don't think so, and I think she knew that. But I also think that was sort of the misguidance of this whole category. Because if you tuned in, you wanted to see breakdancing. I was curious to see, what kind of competition it would be like, and you would think if it's in the Olympics, it would be at this extreme high level, and yet all these people look like they had just sort of learned a few moves and they were, writhing on the stage. I'm like, what is this I'm watching?
And if you would have gone back to the 1980s or whatever, when breakdancing first came out or whatever, and you go, it's going to be an Olympic sport one day, they'd be like, get out of here. Parachute pants would happen. Cardboard stock would have gone like just crazy. We're talking to Michelle Yeoh from Wicked right here on Daily Flash. Stick around.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hello, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So glad to have you here. Matt Doolittle is going to be talking to Michelle Yeoh coming up in just a few, so you don't want to miss out on that. And we're going to have some fun here as well. It's interesting to see how countries are handling social media. Have you heard what Australia is proposing as far as social media goes?
Yeah, it seems very bizarre. I don't understand the whole censorship thing in Australia.
Well, they're saying first off, they want to get rid of social media as much as possible. And what they're doing now is actually going up against like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, X, possibly even YouTube. You had to be a certain age in order to actually go and see it. Now, if you're caught, if if this new bill, which would, if they pass it in Australia within a year, then it would be in effect and such. But the parents would not get in trouble and the kids wouldn't get in trouble, but the sites would, because they need to do a better job in finding out who is actually on it.
Okay.
Now, you say, well, a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old or 12-year-old, they can get on any of those sites. All they're going to do is put a fake birthday in there.
Exactly.
So they're saying, well, that's not enough. You need to make sure that you figure out a way to make sure that who is on there, including a 15-year-old, and it might give some a little bit of pressure to parents to make sure that the kids aren't doing these sort of things. So they're thinking that it's a huge problem in that country.
Wow.
And it could just come into effect within the year or so.
It is hard to imagine life before social media.
That's true.
Right? But I can see, how do you rein it in? I mean, I don't know. It's sort of like once you let the genie out of the bottle, it's, it's kind of impossible.
That would be the only way.
Yeah.
I guess there are some sites that require you to take a picture of your driver's license to prove that you are who you are, your age, and that sort of thing. But I could see, I wouldn't want to take a picture of my driver's license and upload it.
No, and for a kid, you could just grab somebody else's or create one. I mean, it's not that difficult to probably put one together and fake it so you could create your own account. I mean, that's tough to police.
And these companies make so much money, they're going to fight it. So I don't think it'll come to fruition, but at least they're saying we want to do something about it.
I think it's got to end up with the parents. I mean, and the schools. You got to, I think
schools just
some
of
the schools here in Central Florida have said no more phones in the classroom.
Which I think
you
is
can bring
great.
it to school, but you can't have it in the classroom. And that they said that has completely changed the learning landscape. It's done a 180. And so maybe that's what you do. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I blame Ray Gun. I blame Ray Gun in Australia for
Gun,
the
break
problem.
Oh, the
dancer.
breakdancer.
Breakdancer. She retired, and now that's why all their social media is blowing up.
She was probably part of the problem.
Well, that seems to be one of the latest football dances in the celebration zone, the Ray Gun. A nose job from a plastic surgeon in Turkey is considered one of the hottest gifts this holiday season. Who knew? She is offering what's known as the Whoville. The doctor is making a name for herself on social media with videos showing off a virtual transformation. She says her work is inspired by Dr. Seuss and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Her video shows off the before and after looks of her patients whose noses have been reshaped with an upturned tip. The reaction has been mixed. Some love it, others hate it. Nose jobs or rhinoplasty has become a hot holiday gift trend, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons.
Yeah, it's dangerous. First off, I mean, you are talking about your body, but you could see really a big difference in this.
Huge difference.
I hate to say it's a hook, but some people, I mean, those are hooks, man. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Never look at them.
I
do think her work is nice because it's subtle. It's not. I mean, obviously we're just getting a profile picture, but it looks very nice.
I'm all for it. If you want to make something on you, you want to change. Okay, all right, no problem at all. The problem is that you can't go and think you can change absolutely everything. It's part of wabi-sabi. I mean, you're going to have to deal with one or the other. Mine is I'm either getting rid of my chin or getting hair implants.
But
I don't know, one or the other.
I almost feel like it could sort of be like a leaky boat scenario because you fix one thing and then you're like, oh, but my eyes don't really match my nose. So let's go do the eyes. Well, no, my mouth doesn't go with the new nose and the eyes.
Cat lady.
Just back in the news the other day.
It's so true because it's like one small thing will change the whole dimension of your face, and then you can see how these people develop body dysmorphia.
100%.
Which of you would volunteer to share a room?
Madam Marble,
Thank you, dear. That is very good of you,
what?
Miss Elphaba. Elphaba. You can room with Miss Galinda.
What?
Now, go. All of you, go. Go. And you, come with me.
Of course.
Not you. You.
The most anticipated movie of the year, Wicked, is finally here, and get ready to fly on your broomsticks. Now, I cannot contain my excitement. Joining us to talk about it is Oscar Award-winning actress and my personal favorite action star, Michelle Yeoh. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
I also had a huge crush on you
Yeah.
back in the Bond days, so I'm just.
Oh gosh, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, well, so what drew you to this role, Madame Morale? Because Morale, so it's such an iconic role on the stage. So, I mean, what drew you into such a unique character?
Oh my goodness, I think I have to give all credit to John Chu. He was the one who brought me into this amazing world. And unfortunately, until at that time, I hadn't even seen the musical in London or in New York. And I was very grateful to step back into that world of musicals because, I hadn't been there in the theater for a very, very long time, too long, in fact. So it was John Chu who gave me this opportunity to play this iconic character called Madame Morrible. And I had so much fun trying to sing, next time maybe to dance.
And Madame Morrible is such a complex figure. She's got she's got a backstory, she's got her own thing. But so how did you approach this, and how did you kind of give it your own little personality kick to it?
I think all the characters have a discovery of themselves, whether it's because of their lifelong ambition, and that is what is for Madame Morrible. She had dreamed for such a long time to be able to find her perfect witch, because all around her had no magic, and she was the only one who had some, being able to control the weather. And I love that, conjuring up, the rains and the storm. But in the University of Shiz, she had been longing and looking for this. And I think her ambition got in her way from really finding out and understanding what is love, what is true magic around her.
And how does your character contribute to the overreaching themes of Wicked and the characters that you particularly interact with? Because like you say, you hadn't even seen the theater version of it. So everybody that's going into this without seeing it, how does she kind of contribute to that if they don't know the backstory?
I went and saw Wicked both in London and New York when I knew that I was coming into this world, because it's very important, because it's a legacy that's been around for 2 decades. So there must be a very powerful and strong love for this musical and for the characters that are involved. So Madame Morrible is actually very crucial to Elphaba finding out who she is. And then, and also discovering what she can do with this new power of hers and choosing the right path. Madame Morrible doesn't always lead you down the right path, but at least she finds a path for you. And then afterwards, it is up to you to choose your own fate and destiny.
Well, that's awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Daily Flash. And we'll make sure if you wave your wands wickedly at our website, we'll have some information on there as well. Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us. And we'll make sure everybody heads out and sees Wicked. Thank you.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Can you smell it? The holidays, they are quickly approaching. So joining us today with some great meal ideas for the holiday season is Chef Jamoke Jackson, aka Mr. Foodtastic. Chef, welcome and thank you for joining us. How are you?
How's it going? How are you doing? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. All right, let's first just start off. What's on the menu today?
Listen, we have a couple of things. We have some bite-sized options for you. Both of them are featuring Coleman all-natural meats. I have bacon wrapped shrimp crostini, and then I have bacon wrapped kielbasa bites. Both are flavorful and delicious.
Man, it's hard to look at you when I'm seeing that great looking food down there. So just don't be offended, but it's gorgeous looking and looks delicious. Hey, many of us we're looking for ways to actually make our holidays meals especially very special. How can we actually take our dishes to that next level?
Yeah, so I always say, I have a saying, it is quality ingredients lead to quality results.
Okay.
And so for the holidays, it's a lot about tradition, but you want great things and you want people to remember. You want to give core memories and all that. And I say you can do that with a little elevated, but also making sure that the products that you're using are fantastic. And so that's why bacon wrap anything is delicious,
Yes.
right? Whether it's the holidays or not. But when you have something like a Coleman bacon that you can wrap shrimp in with the crostini, I'll bring it up close so that you can see it.
Look at
Very
that.
simple and delicious. This is great. So not only is it flavorful, it has no antibiotics and no added hormones, so it's good for you at the same time. It's humanely raised in the US, produced there. So it's a fantastic dish. This is bite-sized, delicious, very easy and quick to do.
All right, really quickly, a lot of people were worried about cooking, maybe even overcooking. How do we know when we actually have cooked to perfection?
I'm going to introduce you to one word.
Okay.
It's called a thermometer.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Chefs use thermometers. We keep them in our sleeve jackets and our chef jackets. Just that, I don't know, the average home cook doesn't really, it might be intimidating, but a thermometer is the easiest way to know what temperature you're supposed to be at, as opposed to touching or poking. Let's cut out all of the guesswork and just use a thermometer. It's the easiest
It makes
way.
complete sense. It's usually the easiest answer is the best answer. Folks want to find out more
It
about
always
this,
is.
some recipes as well, maybe even some inspiration. Where can they go?
Yeah, ColemanAllNatural.com is where you can get all your inspiration for all your holiday cooking needs and recipes like this one.
Fantastic. I want to thank you, Chef, for joining us. We're going to make sure that we post this interview along with information you need to find out on our website. You can go there at any time, of course. You can check out dailyflashshow.com. Chef, it looks delicious. I think I'm going to go out now and buy thermometers for everybody so everybody knows what to get. What a great Christmas gift if you think about it. Thanks for joining us today.
You may know him from his many appearances on TV, from Iron Chef America to Chopped. It's three-time Emmy, James Beard nominee, and best-selling author Chef Jet Tila. He joins us with some easy, nutritious, and delicious recipes for that cozy comfort food.
Thanks so much for having me. So as the weather cools down, it's time to heat up in the kitchen. And I'm excited to partner with Quaker Oats to bring you some really delicious recipes. I'm gonna start with this one on my right. This is a spicy beef chili, but using steel cut oats. And you're like, why would you do that? Well, how about some extra deliciousness, really great mouthfeel, and all the health benefits. So it's heart healthy, it's full of fiber, and it's also a whole grain. So think about oats in chili. Also think about it in really great dishes like meatloaf, and how about meatballs? But we can also take it over to the sweet side of the kitchen, and I've made here a brown butter scone using old-fashioned oats. And when you try this recipe, you're gonna be like, wow, why does that feel and taste different? It's gonna be light, it's gonna be fluffy, but it's also gonna be filling, it's gonna be nutritious. So that brown butter scone, Quaker Oats, I've grown up with my entire life. And now I'm feeding it to my kids. You know, as a son of immigrants, for my family, 50, 60 years ago, we discovered Quaker Oats, and they've been a staple in our house ever since. So for really great holiday recipes, for comfort recipes, for any meal period, go to QuakerOats.com and you're going to find really great inspiration and really great recipes. Take care.
Well, here's some trending stories going around. Actress Christina Applegate admits that she is struggling with pain from her MS, multiple sclerosis. Applegate says that there are actually days where she stays in bed all day because of the pain from the chronic disease, and it's just too much. The Married with Children star was diagnosed with MS back in early 2021, and the mom of one has been very candid about how it's actually affected not only her health, but her career. In 2022, Applegate said that her Netflix show, Dead to Me, would more than likely be her last acting gig, and she's really been somebody outspoken about what this disease is and how she's been feeling, and really not secluded so much. You have seen her out here and there, but it's amazing that she's still got a great attitude.
But her appearances, I think, seem to be less and less,
100%,
right?
yeah.
Selma Blair, I think, actress Selma Blair,
did, yes.
also diagnosed with MS, and actress Terry Garr, who just recently passed away.
I forgot about that, that's right.
And then the Fox Weather gal, Janice Dean, she's also got MS. So it's one of those things where It can happen to anybody.
And getting the word out, and it seems like just talking about what's happening with the disease is really going to help others that might be going through it, but also maybe pushing to find a cure to it.
Yes, exactly. This mom is taking her family off the beaten path. This is kind of interesting. She's a model. 32-year-old Laura LaRue says she has traded the glitz and glamour of her supermodel life for the peace and quiet of the country. She now lives in a renovated school bus with her daughter and is growing her own vegetables. LaRue also managed to carve out a new career as a tie-dye artist. She's launched her brand called Ride or Die Ojai back in 2020. Today she's using social media and YouTube to expand her brand, as most people do. She's offering tie-dye workshops and tutorials to her followers.
Does LaRue, isn't that French for the road?
Yes, street.
And now she's driving. I think that was interesting about that. All right, now we go, hold on, I'm about to solve it. Look, I solved it.
Amazing.
The world's smallest Rubik's Cube might have actually had the highest price, I just lost it, highest price tag. Check this out. Look at it. The fully functional six-sided puzzle cube is so tiny it can fit underneath a fingernail. The miniature Rubik's Cube is about 1,000th of the size of the original, and you might need tweezers to actually solve it.
Wow.
Price tag, $5,000. The company drew up plans for the small cube about 4 years ago with plans to start putting it in production in 2022. The release of the smallest Rubik's Cube will coincide with the 50th anniversary of the original Rubik's Cube, and that's happening next April.
How about that? Do you remember the pyramid?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I was good at that one. I could never get Rubik's.
I can. Yeah, you just take the stickers
Yeah,
off and you put them on there.
I do think I've done that before.
Of course. Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's time for us to look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous. We're going to dive into some celebrity real estate.
This is where we spend other people's money.
Yes.
Let's start with Bobby Burke, the interior designer who starred on the Netflix reboot of Queer Eye for its first 8 seasons. He just listed his estate in the Hollywood Hills for $2.75 million. The home offers nearly 3,000 square feet of living space, plus 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Burke did a major remodel on all of the interiors of the residence. The Spanish-style home dates back to 1979, but Burke's updated the space to reflect 2024. Marketing images show white interiors with largely neutral furnishings, floor-to-ceiling windows, flood the space with lots of light.
Ooh, I like that, black and white. That's kind of cool
neat.
looking. All right, next up, we have Oscar Isaac. He is actually letting go of his Brooklyn penthouse. The sprawling 4-bedroom, 3-bath duplex was just listed at $4.5 million. The famed Star Wars and Dune actor bought the residence back in 2018. Home actually sits on 2 top floors with 2,400 square feet in high-end finishes. That is nice.
Beautiful.
Main floor of the penthouse has 12-foot ceilings and wide plank floors. There's even a guest suite that can double as an office or even a media room. A sweeping staircase takes you to the second floor where the primary suite is located, and you get with that panoramic city
Oh, that's
views.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Sonia Morgan's Upper East Side townhome is up for rent. $42,000 a month, my friend. That's the rent. Morgan is a fixture on The Real Housewives of New York City. The 5-story townhouse changed hands when Sonia and her now ex-husband, John Adams Morgan, purchased it back in 1998 for $9 million. The home has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, custom woodwork, and a stunning sunroom that leads to a 35-foot garden. Other standout features include a formal dining room and a master suite with a private balcony. Again, that could be yours for $42,000 a month just to rent.
That is a lot. Sonia lived there, so somebody will probably want to stay there just because of that.
I suppose so. But who has $42,000 a month for rent?
I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, imagine that same amount of money. You rent, you can go and buy something, or at least a decent for 3 months, a decent down payment on some house somewhere.
I don't know if I even had so much money, it didn't matter if I would be willing to part with $42,000 a month in rent.
It'd have to be convenience, that's it.
Yes.
That does it for us here. We're sorry you have to leave our home. We love being in yours.
Yes,
we appreciate you spending time with us.
For more information on any of today's stories, be sure to check out our website, dailyflashshow.com. Be good.